WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. A Columbus business owner accepts the city's demands and will shut down early. The agreement was reached in the last half hour.
That's right. That information just coming into our newsroom. Mayor Robert Smith and city officials met with the owner of OK Foods convenience store this morning. Now the store is closed. Our Quentin Smith has been following, and he joins us live now with more on it. Quentin.
Andre, as you can see, the parking lot here at the OK Foods convenience store is empty, and the store itself is finally closed. Now, we saw them locking up the store about 30 minutes ago. Now, after disputing with city officials for nearly the entire day, the owner of the store finally decided to comply with the mayor's request, and as a result, he did in fact shut his store down at 5 o'clock. Now, since he complied with the mayor, the special call meeting that was scheduled for tomorrow has now been canceled. But I do want to point out that this location has definitely seen its fair share of trouble. Last month, the mayor and city staff met with the owner to address safety concerns. And within the past 18 months, the Columbus Police Department has responded to 122 calls at this location. Now, we caught up with residents to see whether or not they believe city leaders have the right to tell a business owner how to regulate their business. Here's what they had to say.
Perhaps they should negotiate, sit down, see what will work for both. Maybe not that extreme of closing down, that early.
I don't think they should just come right out and tell them, but suggest it, in which it would be in mind of safety promoting, because that's when most crimes is happening during these later hours.
This is someone trying to employ people and make their business successful in the city of Columbus. And I don't think the officials should have the right to say it when they should close,
And again, back out here live, as you can see, the parking lot is empty, and the store here at the OK Foods convenience store is indeed closed. And since the owner did comply with the mayor's request, that special call meeting that was scheduled for tomorrow has now been canceled. For now, reporting live in Columbus, Quentin Smith, back to you in the studio.
All right, and in addition to closing each day at 5 p.m., there are some other stipulations that the store owner did agree to. You can find out all of that information on our website. Now, in a late afternoon development, 25-year-old LeBron Gregory is in custody tonight in connection to the Tuesday afternoon shooting there at the OK Foods convenience store. Just hours after the gunfire, investigators released Gregory's name as a person of interest. Gregory was out of jail on a $100,000 bond. A grand jury indicted him for murder last year. Gregory is accused of shooting and killing Brandon Gordon in East Columbus. That was in January of 2016. If you have more information on this case, please call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers.
Bond is set at $1 million today for a suspect in another Columbus shooting. Police are still looking for a second man in that case tonight. 24-year-old Terrence Williams of Columbus is facing 3 counts of aggravated assault. Police say he shot into a car that had someone inside this past weekend. No one was hurt, but a number of cars were damaged in the shooting. Morris Deontay Lanier of Columbus is the other man still on the run. He's described as a person of interest. Lanier's last known address is on Maple Street in East Columbus. Anyone with information can call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. The shooting happened early Sunday morning in downtown Columbus. It was on 5th Street South, just outside the Princess Theater between it and Fred's. City leaders say they want to see more changes to make the area safer. Last night, the owner of the Princess Theater made a proposal to temporarily close the night spot early each night at 10 o'clock and permanently close the back theater area of the building.
Another change you'll see in that area is downtown becoming brighter. Columbus Light and Water installed temporary lights on the South Side Street this morning. General Manager Todd Gale says permanent lights have been ordered. A shooting between the Princess and Fred's department store, of course, sparking that call for more lighting and security cameras downtown. 3 cars, as we've mentioned, were shot up, but no one was injured in the shooting.
Starkville alderman asked the district attorney's office to investigate a case involving a police car hitting a pedestrian. Former officer William Thrasher's patrol car reportedly struck the pedestrian near this area on Henderson and Hilliard Streets. Alderman voted 3-2 in executive session Tuesday night to turn the case over to the DA's office. Vice Mayor Roy A. Perkins, Alderwoman Lisa Wynn, and Alderman Henry Vaughn all voted in favor of the motion. Councilman Ben Carver and David Little voted against. We reached out to all 5, but none wanted to comment on the matter. Mayor Parker Wiseman and Police Chief Frank Nichols also would not comment on the matter. There is dashcam video of the incident. WCBI's request for the video was denied today. The city attorney cited an ongoing investigation as the reason. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you more information as it becomes available.
New at 6 tonight, a federal judge agrees with the city of Tupelo and others being sued by the family of Ronnie Shumpert in a battle over evidence in the case. The judge says attorney Carlos Moore and the Shumpert counsel did not answer some pretrial questions submitted by the defendants to the satisfaction of the court. The court says Moore must turn over the phone number and time of a call from a person Moore claims witnessed the shooting of Ronnie Shumpert. Moore must also provide more details to back up a claim that Shumpert was punched and kicked in the face before he was shot. The court also says the city cannot do away with the remains of Alec, the police K-9 that bit Shumpert. The ruling requires Moore to pay unspecified expenses incurred by the city in seeking more complete answers to its questions. Time for a first look at our forecast on this Wednesday evening. Here's Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson for that.
We're looking at a pretty quiet evening around here. Get out there and make the most of it on our Wednesday evening. Some 60s in the near term, and then we're falling back down into the mid-50s by 11 o'clock. Our forecast low tonight down into the upper 40s, a mix of clouds and stars. Pretty nice for the next couple of days. We'll talk about those storm chances, though, for the weekend in just a few minutes.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. 3 people are in the Union County Jail after deputies find nearly 35 pounds of cocaine. 32-year-old Alicia Ramirez, 20-year-old Samantha Luna, and 31-year-old Manuel Galavuzzi are all charged with aggravated trafficking. Their bonds have not been set. Sheriff Jimmy Edwards says he believes only one of the suspects is in the country legally. The Drug Enforcement Agency and Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents have been working with deputies today. Edwards says a deputy spotted the truck the trio ran and believed it did not have a license plate. It had a paper tag that was hidden from view. A K-9 was called in and sniffed out the drugs in luggage in the back of the truck. $6,000 in cash and nearly 35 pounds of cocaine seized. The sheriff believes the drug was smuggled into the country from Mexico and was on its way to Atlanta. Now, Edwards says this is the sheriff's department's largest cocaine bust ever.
Law enforcement and other agencies are joining forces to help protect children who are innocent victims when parents or guardians are arrested.
WCBI's Allie Martin talked with experts who say they are doing all they can to help children who are victims of abuse and neglect.
It's been a busy few weeks for Prentiss County Sheriff Randy Tolar. Several suspects arrested for drug-related crimes also face child endangerment charges.
This type charge has given us some more tools in our toolbox to impose some penalties on these parents that put these children in very sensitive situations.
A multidisciplinary task force met at the Prentiss County Government Annex to address the issue.
If children are present, either during the sale or use or possession of narcotics, we tend to charge them with child endangerment now, which is an additional penalty, which is pretty stiff.
The Tupelo-based Family Resource Center is another agency in the task force. Potential victims of child endangerment cases are brought here to the Children's Advocacy Center, where they're interviewed and a team of experts takes their case.
If the child needs to be placed with a family member, or if they have to go to foster care, but the main focus of us is that child and that family and what we can do immediately in that moment to help them.
Marie Freison directs the Children's Advocacy Center. She says it takes input from law enforcement, elected officials, social workers, and other agencies to do what is best for children caught in the middle when parents or guardians make devastating decisions. In Tupelo, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
And Allie tells us there are multidisciplinary task forces in all 13 counties served by the Family Resource Center. When we come back, we meet a teacher who is in tune with her students.
Our Educator of the Week is also promoting harmony in the classroom. We'll explain after the break.
WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. For more than 20 years, an Aberdeen high school teacher has been helping her students stay in step. Mrs. Tony Reese is the band teacher and director at Aberdeen High School and our Educator of the Week. For Reese, practice makes perfect, and she keeps the music going even when rehearsals sometimes get a little difficult.
They love how well they do. They hate sometimes to rehearse, and when we demand more, sometimes they do the eye roll. But and that's okay. That's okay for them to roll their eyes as long as we keep moving. I want them to be good citizens, and I want them to have learned a work ethic that they take out into the real world.
Rolling their eyes. What? I don't believe it. If you'd like to nominate a teacher, you can go to our website, WCBI.com. Don't roll your eyes.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. All right, well, on to manufacturing. It's big business in Mississippi, and the state's leaders are embracing the growth. Mississippi State University's Franklin Furniture Institute is hosting its annual Manufacturing Summit. The event brings together state leaders in manufacturing and economic development to discuss workforce training and education.
The first thing that we need to do, and the Mississippi Board of Education is working on this, is institute the vocational technology back into the high schools, and then let the community colleges build on the VOTEC education and move them into industry, and let people know that manufacturing is a good career path.
This is the 7th year for MSU to host the summit.
It is a beautiful early spring day that actually felt like an early summer day.
Yeah, it really did. Beautiful shot there. We'll be right back.
WCBI's Educator of the Week is brought to you by Food Giant, where your neighbors are the owners. Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Good to see you on this Wednesday. Today is day 3 of spring. Days 1 and 2 near record high temperatures, mid to upper 80s. Today a little bit cooler, some 60s and 70s. Some nice spring flowers right there, a little taste of purple. I'm wearing the purple tie here in the studio just because it is that springtime season. Stay connected with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We love to see your pictures, your videos. We're also streaming live right now at WCBI.com. Let's look ahead, shall we? Storms possible Sunday and Monday. This is a spring-like weather pattern here, so we're warming temperatures up. Storm chances will be going up as well. Now, there were a few showers in the region earlier this morning. Those really fizzled. We're watching some energy back to the west here, and that's going to give some storms some development as we go throughout the next couple of days. Now, tomorrow, Thursday, across the high plains, that area in orange, that's the highlighted severe weather threat area for tomorrow. Now, as we get into Friday, it shifts a little bit farther to the east, but really out here in Texas and Oklahoma, during the day, Missouri, or Arkansas rather, and Louisiana into parts of southern Missouri for Friday night. Now, as we get into Saturday locally here, we'll have a chance for some strong to severe storms with the system coming our way. So don't let down your guard. It's quiet now. It could be a little bit more active as we start the weekend. And here's the jet stream forecast for the next 10 days. Pretty active across the southern part of the United States. And that just tells us we're getting to that springtime storm season, and we may see bouts of storms from time to time. And some of those could be strong to possibly severe. But for Thursday, nothing like that. 50 degrees or so at 8 o'clock, 66 by noon. Mid-70s, a pretty good bet during the course of the afternoon. A lot of 70s here for our Thursday across northeast Mississippi. A shot at some low 80s farther southwest. And for you in West Alabama as well, we're looking pretty nice for the fourth day of the work week, getting closer and closer to the weekend. Here's our Futurecast forecast motto. As you can see, no problems here for Thursday. And during the daylight hours on Friday, no issues either. But there are those storms way out there across the high plains. The system gets a little bit closer Friday night, and it moves to on Saturday, so we will have that chance for some strong storms in the region. Here's our 7-day forecast. You can see 76 on Thursday and Friday. A little bit cooler Saturday with that unsettled weather. We're back into the upper 70s Sunday and Monday. There could be some additional stronger storms on Monday. But overall, pretty nice and warm for the next 7 days, lows 50s and 60s. There's your 7-day forecast.
Coming up, we recap the season for Ole Miss men's basketball and look ahead to the Sweet 16 with Mississippi State. That's all coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Ole Miss saw their season come to an end last night at the men's NIT with a loss to a red-hot Georgia Tech team under Josh Pastner. Now, during the end of the game press conference, Pastner told Ole Miss fans not to take head coach Andy Kennedy for granted because it was another successful season and there's potential for even more in Oxford next year.
One thing that I do think that this year did, and I think we contributed in some form or fashion, is the fact that maybe now the dialogue will change a little bit about the SEC. You got 5 bids, and 4 of them advanced, and 3 of them are in the Sweet 16, and could have had 4 in the Sweet 16 with Arkansas taking Carolina right to the bitter end. I wish we'd have played better today. I feel like we let down. What a great crowd, what great energy. People that say, oh, Ole Miss doesn't care about basketball are crazy. We just got to give them a winner, got to get them excited, and I think we did that by our performance in Monmouth and at Syracuse, and our fans responded, and I want to thank them for that. We just did not play well enough to move forward.
To Hail State hoops, the Bulldogs have landed safely in Oklahoma City and are ready to take on Washington and super scorer Kelsey Plum. One important aspect that head coach Vic Schaefer wants to see from his experienced team is energy and enthusiasm on the court. He got that on Sunday versus DePaul and wants more of it going forward.
We're a junior, senior heavy team, heavy junior, senior team. T's not a real emotional kid. She doesn't, I mean, she gets excited every now and then, and if you see that, then you know. Like Jazz the other night, she got really emotional in the ballgame. Well, you know, I've not seen that from her. But that first steal, man, she's pumping that fist and excited, and then she had something happen at half court. She's screaming, and you know, and so you. But that's what I love, man. I love my kids to play with fire and passion. Bree had an and-one, man. She's about to jack one of her own teammates up. She's so excited. So it's just, that's what I enjoy coaching these kids, because I want to see them that way. I mean, that's when you know, man, they're in it to win it.
To the gridiron at Mississippi State today, the Bulldogs hosted their annual pro day with scouts from 27 of 32 NFL teams. Brandon Holloway wowed those in attendance with this 4.31 40-yard dash. But the prize prospect competing on the day was, of course, Fred Ross, who mentioned that he has a meeting with the Patriots this week and would love to play for his hometown Dallas Cowboys since he's a Tyler, Texas native. There were a few surprises on hand at Pro Day in the Palmetto Center, one of which was former Winston Academy and Delta State quarterback Tyler Sullivan. He was there as the quarterback on the day, along with former Bulldog running backs Anthony Dixon and Josh Robinson, who performed. Being back at MSU helped former Bulldogs perform at their best today in front of scouts.
I remember when I was coming out here watching Dak last year, watching Preston Smith and Bernardrick, and it's just crazy because time goes by so fast, and I mean, today went by fast, so it's great to be out here with the team again and just being able to compete with those guys one last time.
It's actually pretty fun, you know, just coming back, walking into the locker room and just seeing all the people you played with, and then watching the guys that were under you, now they're the leaders of the team. So, I mean, it was fun to watch.
When, NFL teams come up and say, hey, we know if we get a guy from Mississippi State, they are going to work their tail off every single day for us. And that is something to me that's really special, that, we have that, you get that reputation, and that it's now a responsibility for other guys to carry on.
Ole Miss and Mississippi State spring football will continue throughout the week. Ole Miss's Pro Day is going to be about a week and a half, and yet we will talk more Mississippi State women's hoops. Our Tom Ebel should be arriving in Oklahoma City very soon. We'll have more from him coming tonight at 10. That's it for sports. Last look at your forecast coming up.
Soon to be voters at Columbus High School hear from candidates in the upcoming city election. More than 300 students heard from candidates running for mayor and city council today.
Crime, education, and jobs were the main topics discussed. Educators say the forum gives the teens an opportunity to help control their future by listening to the issues and finding a candidate to support.
It's very important that they learn to be participants in their society. And so this is a part of their history class where they learn the context of it, and now they're able to apply what they learned.
The school will help the students register to vote tomorrow.
Very good experience for them.
Always. All right, thank you so much for joining. Have a great night.